same. Although I've had people tell me it can break immersion, but I respect that. I get that. Like it's a different, thing. But I love.
Yeah, it can break immersion.
Just a good person, Jay. Stop being so grognard. It was a very nice person that said it can break immersion. I get that, but ultimately, I think the benefit is the behind-the-scenes chat is
Absolutely.
Hello, Manda. Manda, I know I owe you a phone call. I'm sorry. Today has absolutely it's inappropriate thoughts came to mind. I cannot say those things, but today has been tough. I'll get back with you tomorrow.
Sorry, I'm gulping coffee down.
Hey, Jeff. Jeff, I know you appreciate the, I can't say on stream here, but you know what I'm talking about. It was really fun.
There's so many things you can't say on stream.
I know. I'm like, I can't, like, so many secrets. So many secrets.
Are just gonna let our imaginations go with that? Yeah. Well, man, it was a day of things that I can't say on stream. Jim, you know what I'm talking about.
Jeff, Jay, yo, all right, I got you. Like, all of you.
What's going on?
Hello, Garrett. Good to see you.
So
yes. Hey, good to see you, Twy.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Twy in the chat.
Yep, Boba, my friend.
Good.
All right, we are going to be seen and heard after we play the LMA intro, which includes the cartographic stylings of Anna B. Meyer.
And Jay.
That's me.
There's nothing from Jay. No, there's nothing from Jay.
Hello, Thomas.
Hey, good to see you, Tom. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with that.
I've never heard him referred to as
No, I never have either. I'm trying to take him off. See if I can upset him a little bit.
Why?
You succeeded in slightly upsetting me. It was just something inert. It felt wrong.
Love it, love it. MM2? The Sentinel from Cowboy Hob. Tim, the Ever Mysterious, discussing combat mechanics. The Sentinel Unleashed by Hob.
Oh my gosh. Her art.
Hey, Pat. And Pat. Hello, Robert.
Pat and Pat.
Pat and Pat. There is the map. The map. It's only getting better.
There you go. Yeah.
It's only getting better, though, Anda. I know. The Overgord. I have foreseen the zombie goat.
Oh, there you go.
I have foreseen your doom. More combat with Tim. The jousting arena, combat arena of Altimira, which we'll talk about tonight.
Yes.
I threw another map in, John, too. I forgot to give you the surrounding area of Greyhawk with Altimira. So.
All right, I'll swing that in a bit.
No, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I cannot wait to see all these maps. Oh my goodness.
How dare you, Jay? Welcome to Loremaster's Arcanum, episode 136 tonight. What?
I know,
That's a lot.
Flies.
That's a lot.
Hello and welcome, everyone. 136 episodes of Loremaster's Arcanum, which is roughly 1/10 of Jay's life, because he's on like episode 7,000 of his series. We are glad to have the ancient Methuselah on with us tonight, who claims he's younger than me, but clearly we know that's not true. Welcome, Jay.
Hello, good evening. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Good to be here, John, and good to be here, community.
No,
Hopefully
great.
everyone's getting excited for Virtual GrowCon and all the other stuff that's about to happen in the community very shortly.
Yeah, we're all getting registered. It's going to be a fun time. We also have with us, Jay, of course, as always, the amazing Anna B. Meyer. And Anna, you're going to be a star tonight because you've got your maps are amazing. We're going to show some tonight. But thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. Yeah.
Of course.
Always a pleasure.
Although I'm still traumatized, Anna. I say that every time. I've never had a player take advantage of me as a DM.
I love to be
It will
sneaky.
In the way
Amazing.
Anna violated me as a DM. she did absolutely.
See, I'm one of the few players that can make the DM have to throw the X card.
Oh yes, you did. Like I still blush every time I think about it. So we all have Kurt with us, of course. You know him as Cuventus. You know him as the Vassin and Call of Cthulhu DM and all things LMA, who has the first question coming up tonight in a moment. And then Rachel. You know her as Mila, the amazing Mila, and our LMA co-host. Rachel, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. So the topic tonight is Altimira, and we have slides that are showing Jay, I'll pop the new one, and you just gave me in a moment. But the free city of Altimira, 40-plus years in the making. And, yeah, you can correct me in a moment, but it's not 50, and it's not 40. It's more than 40, right?
Well, Altimira was not in the very beginning of the campaign, which started in 1980. Altimira came about of a partying weekend where we all went down to see our buddy Marco, who Anna knows real well, down in Fairfax, Virginia, one weekend and play D&D down there. And our third adventure that night, this is 1987, by the way, and our third adventure that night was the founders of what we call the Cavalier site, or the Cavalier School, where the 3 Cavalier fortresses were placed, and that's how it started. So it was 87 for...
So, Jay, Altimira is only like 36 years old.
Well, 36-year-old in my time, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so...
Not in the game.
All right, well, I'm sorry. We're going to have to cancel the stream tonight. I thought this was a 40-year-old setting. No, only 36 years, Jay? No.
Yes, 36 years. It just
sir.
grew in the game. That's
Yeah.
the great thing about it. It just grew and grew and grew in the gameplay.
That's amazing to know that it came across just naturally throughout the game. That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
It was probably adventure number 120. I think it was something. That's a guess because we're at 1013 now. So, yeah, somewhere around there.
Jay, the hard flexing here. I said 136 for LMA. Jay's like 120. I created this 36 years ago. John is like,
Come on, John.
Give it it.
I love it. I love
We
it.
had this talk about the head with my friend.
Yes.
I'm gonna say,
Wait. What? Wait. What'd you say, Jay?
The exploding head.
Jay.
So.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Kurt, you have question number 1.
Oh, good.
I do. I have the most important question of the night. What's in the box?
What's going to be in the box?
Good
Yeah.
question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the box. That's a good question. So we've been talking with Stephen Chenault a lot, and we are going to attempt to replicate the greatest publication ever. And by the way, we have best of after this, so this will be one of my best of, the Free City of Alton, the Free City Ground box set, right? Which is in my opinion, the best Greyhawk publication ever. So you're going to look for a guide in there with all sorts of guilds and classes and characters and situations and rumors and information, and then maps galore. Maps from Anna, maybe some area maps, surrounding maps of the city, and then a couple other tidbits depending on how well the Kickstarter goes. Some stuff outside the box too, like a lot of these buildings are going to be available on 3D prints. So yeah.
And Jay, I know there are some things you can't talk about tonight, and I don't want to push you, but like, how much of this is going to be through Infinite Dimensions or other, like, where might we see these extensions of the Altimira box sets that people could get through the Kickstarter if we hit those levels?
Oh, it's gonna, as far as 3D prints go, it's gonna be Gamescape 3D.
Okay.
Jeremy Gamescape, and you'll see his amazing things when you see the jousting field. Infinite Dimensions did the arena, but Jeremy is very amenable to whatever we ask, he'll make. So I brought Anna in a meeting on Saturday. We're just talking about options for getting the towers done and the gate walls, and he was really he said, hey, whatever you guys want, I'll do for you. So there, and we may do some isometric maps too. There's a couple if it gets to that point. We may have an isometric map maker. But Anna's got the gig right now with all the stuff that she's doing. I mean, that's the most important thing, is that we want that map to be playable, usable, right, and detailed down to the city street. And that's,
yeah, we're going to get to that. Anna's going to share her maps in a moment, and her screen's ready to go. But what's in the box was question one.
Yes.
When did this start? 1987. That was a sub question, so you've hit that. Jay, where did the inspiration to create your own city come from? I'm going to pull up the map, the map we talked about here, so people will see it on the screen. This is the original Altimira. It's a circular map, and it is gorgeous. Altimira map. So what year was this drawn, and where did this inspiration come from?
My guess is this is 88 or 89 that I made this. So I'm like, we have this city, we have all these fortresses in here, it's growing, we have all these different districts, we have all these buildings that are being detailed. I got a whole booklet full of them in these districts, and we don't have a freaking map because none of us knew how to make a map back then. I mean,
wait, 89? I was 18 in 89, Jay. You knew how to make a map. Come on.
Okay, well, was even Campaign Cartographer 1 out then? Adam?
No.
No.
Yeah,
That's 20 years before that came out.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'll just
Campaign Cartographer 1, right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly. A blank sheet of paper, and you write down whatever you want. So
graph paper, yes.
So we had to do something so that we could just, for reference points, know where everything was. And stuff is, because it's evolved, stuff's subject to change here and there. We're moving some things around, but that's the first. Yeah, you got the Tower of Alana in the middle. By the way, all the D&D names will have to change for Castles and Crusades, but that's
right.
Okay. And then you got the 3 other towers. You got that Britomart Aradhel Tower. You got the Winchester Estate Tower, which of course it was a pyramid. We're going to change that because that makes no sense to have a pyramid tower, right?
It's just a broad-based, narrow-top tower. It's not a pyramid, Jay.
It would bring a certain degree of flair, I think.
Yeah, it's a sturdy model of construction too. It will stand.
There are towers in Greyhawk. There's 2 of them actually.
So Jay, you had a dwarven. You had a dwarven quarter originally, which is interesting.
Yeah.
That actually fits so well with Altimira because, of course, in Tears of Aird and the Aird world and TLG with what Stephen Snow has done, Aird had the dwarves as the first chosen of the Allfather. So for them to have an entire quarter actually probably makes more sense today for that than it did back in 1989.
So
you were prescient.
The great thing about Aird and Greyhawk is they kind of intertwine almost, right? So this is right in the southern Lortmill Mountains. We got Walt's character Schlemmen. There's S&M Mining Interest Limited to the north, and there's a lot of dwarven temples. It just makes sense to have a dwarven quarter in the city. So we do. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. We see the amazing jousting arena there. The gladiator.
That's not the jousting arena. That's the actual Grand Melee.
Right. I meant the gladiatorial. Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gladiators. Do you like movies about gladiators? I'm sorry, I'm quoting bad movies now.
Right.
The Airplane. So, that took a year to make, and I had Bill chained in the somewhere for an entire year to make that piece. That piece was that's our nice by far it's the most intricately detailed, nicest piece we have, and we try to use as much as possible. I used it for the fundraiser last year. The final event on Saturday night for the fundraiser, we had a big fight in there. So, yeah.
Nice. So there's some questions in the chat, but Rachel, you have not had a chance to ask a question. I want to give you that chance.
I really like the question that Twy asked because it's something that I myself have been wondering.
Right.
So if you don't mind, I will ask
Please.
it as well. So this comes from Dark Elf Twilight, and the question is, I've heard Altimira referred to as the Free City of Altimira, and I've heard that moniker elsewhere, such as the Free City of Greyhawk. Does that mean Altimira is an independent city-state or something else? And is the context the same in Aird as in Greyhawk / the Flinnis?
It's going to be a little different between Aird and Greyhawk, but for Greyhawk purposes, John, do you have the map I just gave to you at the Altimira area of Anna's map?
Yeah.
For Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Full,
hang on. Give me 1 second. I'll have that up, Jay.
So the land technically is on the border between the Principality of Ulick and the County of Ulick. But when we first did the role-playing part of it, the Count of Ulick said, this is a perfect spot. We're going to deed you the land, and you're just going to protect this area. If you know anything about the pass that runs along the Sis Forest up to Selene, the Elven Kingdoms of Selene, down all the way through the Principality of Ulick, there's never been anything there. So we're like, here's a perfect spot. So in the agreement now it is they pay us a nominal homage to County of Ulick, but technically it's a free city run by the knighthood, basically, the Order of Ulick, and that's why it's a free city. And yep, so that's what you see. It technically is in the County of Ulick. You got the to the south is the Principality, to the east is the Sis Forest, which is very, very foul, like the Twilight Forest.
Like the Twilight, yeah.
The little jutment down above it, that's the tip of Selene. That's the beginning of the Elven Kingdoms. The only difference between this and Aird is the Elven Kingdoms are in the south, so we're just flipping that. So Fontenot is south of Altimira and Aird. No big deal. Just flips around. Yep, easy fix there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull these up side by side. So here is that same area in Aird, and let me just show these back to back. So Aird.
Unkwood River.
Yep. You got the Unkwood there, and then here is in Altimira and in Greyhawk. It's right there. The Sus, the Twilight. You got the Pomars to the south. In Greyhawk, you've got it's all it fits so nicely.
That's awesome.
So Hatchstone says, how do they stay free and not be absorbed? Because there's a bunch of kick-ass, high-level adventuring types and military there that protects them. And the County of Ulick has a weak military, and the Principality of Ulick as well, because they've been so drained over the decades. If you know anything about Greyhawk history, the Hateful Wars occurred about 120 years ago, right, Anna? At that time, and the humanoids fled the Lort Mills and pushed through to the Pomars. Lots of elves, dwarves, and all sorts of people died during that. So the militaries of these countries are weak. So hopefully that answers your question.
It does. And you're right. They look almost identical. It was, Jay, we've talked about this. It's crazy how closely these things lined up.
Yeah, and that's so when we first were doing this, Steven said this is a perfect place. So I was like, cool. I'll take your word for it, and it fits. And then whatever Anna does on her map area, Anna, what do you do? 15 miles by 15 miles around?
Well, I've rendered 150 square miles, so we can simply use as much as we want in the middle, and then we can switch it out, and I can make a Greyhawk version afterwards, so we can make one that fits it into Greyhawk, and freely distribute that one as well, so to speak. And then there will be a printed or something cool in the box set. We have to figure out the size, whatever size we can squeeze in there. And get out of Steven, so to speak. So hopefully as big as possible. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And some close-ups and stuff like that.
And it's not a rose garden here. Please note that. I mean, there's so many fun things that John's been doing and touching on his and developing some, and some of there's a lot going on in the area.
You're seeing some of those on the slideshow. Like none of what you're seeing from my game is canon. In the official Altimira, but it's just ideas that we're sharing as a team. So I've got all of Jay's canon stuff.
We are adding stuff that you've done in your game into it.
Right. Yeah, but thank you.
So exciting.
That's happening.
Can you share any of the things that are going on?
Yeah.
I would love to hear them.
Sure. Let's do one, for example. One that I ported over that wasn't originally in Altimira, but was in a town called Diamond Lake. Which, sorry for swearing, but if you know, outside of the Free City of Greyhawk, there's a real shithole of a town called Diamond Lake. It's in the Age of Worms set. It's a stop-off point for miners up into the Cairn Hills. And I've always had a house of ill repute there that when I build the Master Crafter's characters always love to frequent the Tickling Feather. All right, so I was like, I gotta have the Tickling Feather now, at least a franchise. So I kind of relocated the Tickling Feather there, but John came up with the idea of the springs, Siren Springs, right next to it.
Yes.
So that's a no-brainer. So that's
I think so. Jay and I've talked. I think Siren Springs will make it's a spring house right next to the Tickling Feather, where the employed in the Tickling Feather can bathe. And then we also have some things like Well Equipped, I think is going to be in there. Maybe the Viper's Nest. Locations have been.
We have room. We want to take stuff that's being played. That was one of the great things about this game that you guys are playing. Absolutely.
And you can see like the Altimira voice, which is going to be part of the Altimira Free Press, I think the larger organization that Jay is creating inside of his box set. So samples of that will appear. There's a lot of influence that's coming. Jay and I talk about this stuff all the time, and I think it's going to be fun to see it. And again, back to the Gygaxian concept, which I put in my Discord this week. I've got the original Dungeon Master's Guide right here, and on page, the preface, as soon as you get into it, he says, build your campaign. You will tailor it to suit your personal tastes. In the heat of play, it will slowly evolve into a compound of personality of those of your better participants, a superior alloy. Make the campaign yours. This is always what D&D has been about, and that's what Altimira will be about.
Absolutely. It's when I started in 1980, and I just started for some reason logging down adventures, right? Number 1, 2. I never thought that it would be, that it would ever grow to this point. And all my friends would stay together. 3 of them were from 1980 or earlier still. So, one's from 85, one's from 92, one's from 83. So, we've been together for so long, and it's grown out beyond this. And this, just the city's an opportunity to really create something and have it to share with everyone else. So we're really excited about it. And Anna and I are partners in this, and so Anna's genius is going to be on.
Yeah, I'm saving the best because I know Anna is going to be the star of the show. But Thomas, we already talked about Well Equipped. What do you mean your store? We already talked about that. Yes, Well Equipped will be in there.
We just mentioned it.
Yeah, literally 2 minutes before you posted. But I think there is, when it comes to Jay, let's go back to basics. A city, a giant built-out city with maps, concepts, which is transferable into different worlds. You can play it in Greyhawk. You can easily play it in Arid, but if someone wants to rip it out and put it in the Forgotten Realms, they can do that as well. What's the allure for you? I mean, I have an answer for myself, but for you, what's the allure of that?
The arrogant answer?
All of them.
Yes.
Arrogant, humble. Yeah. Be cocky, Jay. Be cocky.
Quick story. We had been doing this for 38 years, and we had stayed in our hole. We were not in any communities. We were not, interacting with anyone. Anna thought I was someone else the first time we met. Okay.
The first time I met Marco, because
yes. Oh, you're the Canadian guy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he told me about you, and I thought, oh, that was the video I saw on YouTube. Yeah.
No. So from that point, I want to be able to get to the penultimate spot where my campaign is being enjoyed by others. What I've done over these 43 years is being enjoyed by other people, and John, you're doing that with your game on Sunday, and I really appreciate that. Right, it's the first step. Having another channel actually run and creating some of the things on your own, so it's a real honor that you're doing that. But that's it. I mean, it's a legacy. I've had one adventure published so far, and that was a success with Carlos, and now this is the big one, right? So this is the next step.
All right, Jay. That's a fantastic answer, and you've been very kind. Let me give you my answer to the question. If I may.
Yeah, please.
D&D is, by definition, Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeon crawls, overland, wilderness settings, occasionally political intrigue. Late Leonard Lukavka, always loved the Assassin's Knots. There are so many things that are out there, but the city setting can be so rich for any game. And honestly, what I've done in Tears of Arid, I will say, has been the most detailed city setting I've ever done, and it was encouraged by what you've done with Altimira. I was inspired as a child by another city setting, which to me was the best I'd ever seen done. I'm going to ask Rachel first.
I know, Jay.
I know, Jay. I know you know, Jay. Rachel, can you guess? Rachel, you've looked again. I like doing this to you because you've looked at this module in my room
no, John.
every single week. Yes, you see it in my room every week.
You have so many books.
It's okay. It's okay. Kurt.
Well, I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. The greatest city ever created was Lankmar. That's just me.
Okay.
So this book inspired me as a child, and it was the most fully fleshed out. Here's the map. You know, this is a pitiful representation of whatever Anna will do, but you know, this gorgeous Lankmar map gave you this fully built out city, and it just every location mapped and just sparked imagination. This for me was and I'm sure in the chat people will tell me they were better, but this was the one for me that really hit. Jay, Anna, thoughts?
I must say, I loved it, Lankmar, and you have a little bit later. I have an earlier version.
Oh gosh, Anna, again, I'm getting flexed on.
Yes, I have an earlier version. Hang on a second.
All right, go ahead.
You talk.
For me, it was City State of the Invincible Overlord. Because that was out from Judges Guild. That was out in the 70s. Tim uses that today in the campaign where I actually have 2-player characters if he ever DMs it.
So I'm familiar with that one, but that's not as well. Do you think that's as well built out as Lankmar?
This one.
Oh my,
Lankmar.
Anna!
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the original Lankmar.
I have the second one.
It's so
Yes.
pretty.
Yeah, it was it's fantastic. It was these city. There was no other city books. There was like Thieves' World, I think, was one that
yes.
was done earlier too, but that one didn't have. I have the box set somewhere, or the books from the box set. I don't think the set itself survived, but those books were. The production values were measly, so to speak. This one shines. This one has I think it's a I think it's an Easley or Elmore on the front. I think it's an Elmore on the front cover.
Well, it has the same image, but just
it's
different.
the same image,
But
right. This is the very first edition that came out.
That one's 2E book that you have, Anna, correct?
Yes, this one is a first edition book. Yeah, and it came with a little booklet, and it came with the same map, but it's an earlier printing.
Yeah, mine's 2E.
Yeah. You had the 2E, and it had a very interesting kind of cool feature. I've never seen that in any map. All these gray squares were geomorphs, and there was in this little booklet, you have geomorphs, so you had to fill them.
Exactly. Yes.
It was both cool and disturbing at the same time.
Daunting. Yeah.
Fill in the detail you want, but the problem was that you got an ugly map with gray squares on it.
Yes. Yes. Same thing in the 2E version.
It was a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen a
Like
full
these
map
giant
fully-
blank.
Yeah.
These guys,
Yeah.
blank gray squares, like for you to fill in as a yes.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So it was an early idea. It was the first real city adventure. I think it came out before City of Greyhawk, if I remember correctly. I'm not really sure, but it was in
I think it
my
did.
opinion,
I think it did.
Fantastic module when it came.
Is that right, Jay?
And it was really high
It's real
production
close.
values. and all that.
What year is that copyright on that, Anna?
I'm going to
I think
check
Greyhawk
that
came
here.
out.
Yeah. Let's settle this right here. And yes, Robert Kai Hawkeye. This is
came out 4 years before.
4 years before.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Keep John Humble Night, no doubt. Anytime I have Jay and Anna on, it's Keep John Humble Night. I flex my old school stuff, and I get shown older school stuff every single
There you
time.
go. You see, you have to be really into it a long time to get into things.
No, I was into it then, Anna. I just had no money then.
Yeah, you say you were a kid. You were a kid in second edition. I was a
Yes.
kid in first edition. So.
No, I was a kid in first edition. I was a younger kid in first edition.
I am
Jay,
enjoying
I have a
Humble
question. So
John Knight.
Jay, I have a question. What influences helped you really build Altimira?
Yeah.
We're gonna
That's a
stop
good one.
playing who has more gray hair on their head. Yes. Go back to
I
Altimira.
will
Because it's
win
not
that
me,
one.
even though I'm the oldest here.
He denies. Jay denies coloring his hair.
Yeah.
I lie. He's like, no, it's not true, Jay. You color your hair. You know you do.
I do not.
You
guys
color your hair.
I'm not coloring my
You color.
Number one, the Free City Greyhawk box set, number one by far. Two, there were Greyhawk was the Greyhawk campaign setting had this thing had a lot of publications come out like Fate of Istis and all, and it had these really blocky, shitty looking maps of cities in them, right? And everyone's like, this is terrible. And I'm thinking to myself, why can't we, just like we created our own knighthood, right? Because and why can't we create our own city and just place it somewhere it's out of the way? And so when we saw all the stuff besides Greyhawk that was just substandard, I'm like, I want to create this city that we can adventure in, and also it's not going to affect published source if new books come out, right, and new publications come out. And that's exactly what happened when From the Ashes came out and it killed everyone, and Living Greyhawk era, they killed everyone, right? And I can go on and on. It didn't affect us because we're where we were. So, like, that was it. I was thinking ahead. I was like, oh my gosh, I just don't. What if they actually? Everyone knows about my pain with the Doom Grinder. They take this cigar-looking with a propeller thing on it in an adventure, and they write the adventure so that if you don't stop it, it goes right through Greyhawk City and destroys it. I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong? Yeah, right. So I'm thinking, I have a city now that no one's going to Doom Grinder it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
That makes complete sense.
Yes. Because Anna knows I hate that adventure
Yep.
so much.
I agree, because I think it's a terrible adventure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
so
you don't, it's the destruction of everything. That's
Well, it's just some
Yeah.
sort of space opera fantasy kind of weird conglomerate. Yeah, it's just weird.
wild.
Yeah, it's weird, but
Uh,
it's well produced though. It's nice art and all that, but it's
You're being kind, Anna.
yeah.
Oh, look what I have right here.
So
Oh,
he
Look what I
has it
have.
right there. On
what
I
hand.
saw that
Yeah, I have it here sitting on a
stack
shelf.
of
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, because I bought it. We had a Greyhawk logo
look
on
at
it. so
there
I
it
bought
is. Look at that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Wow.
oh my God, it's painful.
Mhm.
Yeah, run by Darrow.
Literal Doom Grinder.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I take this so I can do this with it.
Wonderful.
I mean,
right by your pile of Thrommel books, right, Jay?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or your favorite, the Scarlet Brotherhood. I know you love the Scarlet Brotherhood, Jay. So
I do. I killed a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. They're nice to have around. Yep.
It's a submarine on wheels. Yes, Billy Master Crafter agrees with me. How terrible it is.
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Bill, it's about to hit.
Agree, Bill.
And I was like, oh, can't do that.
Agreed.
I have a question as well.
Please.
What did the beginning of creating Altimira look like?
It was a mess because we had no idea what we were doing, and so we go, oh, we all should have the same keep size or keep shape. So let's have a cylindrical one. Let's have a square one. Let's have a pyramid one. I mean, that's how basic it was.
Oh, that's how that. Okay.
That's how they came about, right? And then each of us had one. There was an NPC, one of the Winchesters. Alan had Tim. Tim had Sir Rastus, and he was a half-elven neutral good cavalier. Britomart was a chaotic good gray elven cavalier, and the Winchester, Elijah Winchester, was a lawful good human cavalier. There you go. So he had them all covered, and that was how we started it. And then we said naturally, well, this is going to grow around it. There's going to be businesses coming here. There's an entire grove of kumquat trees here.
Yep.
And that's gonna So that's a big joke. If you notice on the
Is that how that came to be, the symbol? Oh, that's so funny.
yeah, so that's one thing I added to published source was the kumquat in Greyhawk.
Yeah. You have to tell about Stephen and the tree. Yep.
All right. So this image here, Jay.
Decided he's gonna there it is. There's a kumquat. So he's
Yeah.
he's gonna grow a kumquat tree.
Yeah.
And he killed it.
Yeah, and the funny thing, we had a follow-up stream where we were going to talk about the project, and Stephen came on. He looked like someone dead, and said, "I have bad news." And we thought Wizard of the Coast, someone or the business had gone up in
Yes.
smoke or something like that.
Oh,
like,
we were scared to death.
Like they gone chapter 11 or something like that, and say, "Oh, the kumquat tree died."
Yes.
So we all laughed. That was so funny. The looks he had was like, "No, we can't do it. We can't publish it." It was like we are lost our business or whatever.
It's like the white tree in Minas Tirith. It's like the whole thing. It's like gone.
It was so awesome when he said it. It was like, and we were all like, oh, and then he said the kumquat tree died. That was hilarious. Yeah.
Tell us about this one. What's this heraldry?
That one is the Guild
Yes, I'm
of
very curious about that.
the Guild of Bounty Hunters.
So this is
Bounty Hunters Guild is across maces.
Yes, because the mace is the weapon for. So back in the day, the Bounty Hunter class is the first class I created outside of the base classes in the 1E Player's Handbook. Because everyone wanted to play an assassin, I'm like, no evil characters. So I created a Bounty Hunter class so they could render unconscious. So the main weapons of Bounty Hunters are blunt weapons like Footman's Mace, Horseman's Mace, those hammer, club. So I cross maces along with also the circle of knowledge, because they are information gatherers, spies, and that class will be in the box set, by the way, for Castles and Crusades, the Bounty Hunter class, yeah. And there's an entire guild. It's the only guild in Greyhawk in the entire setting that is bounty hunters, not assassins, right? So that was.
So you got like bounty hunters, undead hunters, shadow mages. Any of the specialty priests in the box set, or what will be?
No, because of the difference in deities, we're going to do that maybe as an addendum. This is hopefully leads to other things. This whole will lead to an entire publication on specialty clerics of deities of Erd. Afterwards, so we stayed away from that. Yeah, so bounty hunter's already done. The undead hunter, which is one of my that's a 1E subclass of paladin. The shadow mage is the one that's the most difficult because the spells. I need to see if I can get enough spells that are in Castles and Crusades to fill the class.
Wait, so talk more about that. And Kurt, Rachel, you please feel free to jump in with questions. But Kurt especially is a system like maven. He loves jumping into different systems and learning them. So when you're talking about building out those spells is difficult in CNC to get a full class, what does that mean?
So everything I do gets back converted to 1E. So in the 2E era, you had spheres. You had you could be an invoker, or specialty priests had these spheres: combat, healing, war. Every class has to have its own spell list for me. That's just because I'm a DM that needs.
As it should.
Yes, I am a little bit anal and a little bit OCD, and I want to maintain control and do what my players are. I don't want them throwing anything crazy, or just to keep it simple. So I want a minimum of 10 spells per level up through 7th, and I did that with a lot of 3rd edition enhancements of shadow spells from the Relic and Rituals book by Monty Cook.
Right.
And that's when I was able to flesh out a shadow mage. It was one of the most recent spellcaster classes we've done. But there's a demand for it because there's really not. That class goes hand in hand with bounty hunters because you're not the multi-class of bounty hunter, assassin, witch, thief. You can, the shadow mage. There's a lot of different things you can multi-class with. Who is that? I don't know if that's Tim bothering me on purpose.
Oh,
see, my guys,
probably.
They do it on purpose.
Probably.
They do. Every time I'm live, they. So I'm turning my ringer off now. There we go. So it was one of them. I'm not sure which one it was. And then the last one's called, and this is a Bill class. Bill, who's on, created this. It's called the Maester. Ripped it right off from Game of Thrones.
Right.
We're going to change the name to Magister. It's an awesome class. It's basically a cloistered class, but we figured a way that player characters can use it. You can multi-class with straight fighter, straight thief, straight mage, or straight cleric, and be a cleric maester, fighter maester. And they're almost sage-like. They can do all different sorts. They have a whole skill list, and they can do armoring. They can do alchemy. They can do enhanced melee combat, engineering.
Alchemy, you say, sir. Go on.
It's a great, and it's expandable to someone outside the campaign. They go, well, I want to add this ability to the class.
And Jay, you've removed sort of the Maester concept from Game of Thrones because it has this other connotation which we don't want to bring into the game. So the Magister kind of removes that possible connotation, but keeps the flavor of it, right?
They do have the capability. They do have ravens as communication.
Right. Yeah, so it's similar, just not the that makes sense. So a great question in the chat. This came from Thomas. It's one of my questions as well. The founding of Altimira. We've talked about this a bit in the Greyhawk world, but in the aired setting, it is post the Winterdark. In fact, further post Winterdark than I originally thought in my game. I made it 100 years old. I believe you said Altimira is like 60-something years old in the official box set past the Winterdark. Is that correct?
We're still finalizing where that's going to be based on what Steven thinks makes the most sense.
Okay.
So we're getting all the core together, and then we're going to fit it in where he goes, this is the timeline, this is the place where I think you'll get the best bang for the buck, and it makes the most sense and the most playability at. So that's what we want to make sure we have it. And so my guess is yes to what you said.
But either way, in air, it's going to be post Winterdark, whether it's 60 or 100. It did not exist as a city during Winterdark in air. Is that fair, or?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, because it doesn't have an ancient history. The difference now is we're going to have the knights come, instead of the Order of York being all over the Flannays and Greyhawk, this is going to be their main headquarters, is Altimira. That's the difference.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be the Order of Altimira. So there's certain things that are Greyhawk I can't use.
Right.
Ulick, king's name Ulick. So the knighthood there, like, Catherine von Poppen, right?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, yes, they do. We absolutely do.
Subclass of Paladin Inquisitor, lawful
So
good.
cool.
But she was scarred as a child.
Jay, wait, Jay, don't say too much. She doesn't know. This is one of my players here. Like, Katarine von Poppen will be, yes.
Sorry. She'd be a member of the Order of Altimira, not the Order of. That's one of the things we have to change. There's also one other name we have to change too, which is kind of funny. So, you all know Darius the Deposed.
Of course. Lord Darius the Deposed.
Lord Darius the Deposed. Can I tell about his?
Yes, please. Yeah, please do. Yeah, that's good.
He's a fallen cavalier. So he was a high-level cavalier that lost all of his money gambling in the Wild Coast and became destitute. And then the story goes, he just said, I got to make money. I'm going to become a thief. Alan's character, Sam, a halfling thief, original name Alan, of course, Samwise, has him join his thieves guild in Highport. It gets really dicey there, and Sam flees Highport and leaves all his thieves in his guild there, just abandons them. Well, a chaotic neutral person like Darius doesn't forget, so he swears lifelong revenge on Sam. Hence why there are no halflings, no gnomes, or dwarves allowed in the
Thieves Guild. Yes.
Yes.
That's wild.
This is in the course of gameplay going way back. Yes. So Darius has it out for Sam, who has his establishment in Altimira, and so that guild. But now there's another new guild in town too, and that's the one we got to change the name of, and that is from Roger Moore. Spunk. Spunk, the Short People's Union for Nefarious Kleptomaniacs.
That is awesome. That is amazing.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
that is owned by TSR. I mean, that's owned by WotC, because that is a published source in a Dragon magazine article. So we got to think of a new name for Spunk. Yes, and we've come up with some of them, right? And there's been some here and there. So
Yeah, you had some cool one floating around.
right.
We'll
So
see.
Spunk is there to fight
Yeah.
Darius the Deposed. So there's a guild war coming. Yeah.
Yeah, and so again, this is an area where Blue Box Tears of Arid stream is not canon. We have the Guild of Gentle Supplication, which we haven't really introduced Spunk.
Love.
Yeah, which is fun, but may not fit in the box set, which is fine. But we are. This is where again you make it your own. And Jay, of all people, would encourage this. Like, you take whatever the box set has and you build stuff on top of it. Jay, the question that came up in chat from Alexander is approximate release date. You and I have talked about this. I think you've got some. Can you give even a throw a dart at the wall answer?
It's on me now at this point to get all the writing done. It's on me. We're hoping to have a major Kickstarter show at GaryCon next March, and then just crank it out right after that.
Which will be my first GaryCon and my first ever actual con besides my own Blue Box Con. So yes, I'll be there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and a good question, Hatchthorn. Yes, there will be, just like in the Greyhawk box set, there'll be adventure cards.
So you'll have like single page, like
for I did one up recently for oh my God, what event was that at? I did the adventure card up.
With GaryCon.
It was GaryCon last year. Yes, I
Yeah.
did an adventure card up for it. Yep. So there is one made.
I'm going to go pull one of those off my wall here and let Rachel and Kurt carry the stream on while I grab this.
Yes, please feel free. Ask some questions.
I do have one.
Yeah.
And right as I said I had one, it immediately left my brain. Oh no.
That's okay. I got one.
Yes, I'll catch it again.
There you go. All right. So, so this Altimira is being built for Castles and Crusades, right? Is there going to be perhaps a just 1E, 2E version of it released as maybe like a stretch goal or something like that?
We can't because we legally don't. That's a gray area that we don't want to get into with what. Yeah. So because the last thing we want to do is slip up and have any Greyhawk references at all in there. What we'll probably have is a cross-reference chart for free to download, so that you know, like, this is this deity is Alana, this deity is this, right? This location is, we'll have something like that, a crossover, because CNC is very old, it's old school, and I've taken CNC adventures and easily converted them over to 1E, 2E, and these classes that are all 1E, 2E classes, I'm converting to CNC, so they already exist in 1E, 2E. So there's a lot of references that'll be available already in 1E, 2E. That's all we've ever played in. And that's another thing is I don't play Castles and Crusades, so it's been a little difficult. But they say they're going to do a lot of the conversion for me. So.
All right, Rachel, did you remember your question?
There you go.
I remember it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a question that it's one that I try to ask as many guests as I can so far, which is like, what is your favorite part that you have created so far that you feel might not get as much attention as you feel it deserves?
Well, the funnest part of all, and is what and good old John has converted old Tom Sorrow is actually, we call it, he's
the boogeyman.
The boogeyman of Altimira.
Yes. They know.
But they don't know who it is.
No.
So big hush hush. I want to though so badly.
I got one little tidbit.
A little tidbit?
It's a player character in my campaign. So it's what.
In your campaign, it's a player character?
Oh yeah, it developed in the course of gameplay. Oh yeah.
I'm just saying it would be fitting if it's Crete, but I'm not. I know it's probably.
Oh no! This goes back to 19. I'm gonna guess and say 1990. This happened. Oh yeah, 1990, 91. Yeah. So before we were. Yeah. Oh yeah, this character's been around for a long time.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say it, but I really hope we kill him someday.
Well, I don't know about you, John, but we've pumped Jay for all this information. I think it's time to see some maps.
Yes.
Wait, no, okay, wait, yes. We're going to show some maps. And Anna's up next. But, Jay, this is from the Free City of Greyhawk. This was the map you were referring to, which is about 4 years behind Lankmar, correct?
Yeah, that's the artist graphic image of the map, right?
Right.
So I have the Malden map, which Malden did and got printed during the 3rd edition. Era of Greyhawk and Living Greyhawk
That's
Journal.
That's an improvement of it.
Too. It is a huge improvement, as you can see.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the sewers are great in that, John. Yeah. So a huge improvement.
Ooh, I love that.
3 years to get this.
But the cards were asked about earlier. So there will be cards like these in the Free City of Greyhawk for Altimira. So you have these cards, adventure one.
Cards, yep.
Exactly. That's going to be so fun. All right, Anna. I've been stalling. Wait, one more question here. I'm going to stall a bit more. So with 2 cities of Altimira in 2 different worlds, where is the teleportation circle located? Oh, that is actually something we've talked about, Jay. So interplanar travel. Don't say too much, but what can you say about thoughts you have on how people?
I am trying to get someone of a big name.
I know.
Has an inn. And has a book.
An inn.
Of alcohol in the book. Hint, hint. Who has a multi-dimensional inn. And I want it in Altimira, and I'm working on them.
Yep.
So we'll see where that goes.
There's a
That's
space
so
fair
cool.
by.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
We happen to be on Star Trek Picard this
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, you might see some mystic. You might see some mystic libations somewhere. Yes,
Exactly.
I've got that book back. Maybe I'll give that away.
Planner libations or something. this
Yeah,
time,
we'll
so,
see. We'll see. I'm not sure if that. Yes, my good friend TS. Yes, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna go for it or not. If not, we can. Eric Boyd created the World's End Tavern and all those other locations, you know, that are in Forgotten Realms. Or we can do something like that. So. no
Yeah.
problem.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
All right, Anna,
Yeah.
you are
20.
a cartographic genius. Every time I see the stuff you do, I'm blown away. Your machine cost, I believe, $75,000. Yeah, you have a
I'm
massive.
being outgunned here by Lee, by Savage Baron. He kind of he's building a bigger monster than mine, so it's cool.
Yeah, and then you'll just bigger one. But so I'm going to share your screen now. I love talking with you guys last week about what's happening with Altimira and the 3D, everything from where rivers start, how they flow, the mercantile routes. So Anna, just walk us through whatever you would like. Everyone's looking at your screen now.
Scroll down on that city, Anna.
This is the. Let's see it from like normal, like we would. Hang on a second. We can actually look at the. Here is the actual 2D map first, and just zoom in a little bit and see. This is a rendering,
Oh
so
my
we can see.
gosh.
So this is the city, so to speak, and it's on a plateau, and we only placed a few buildings to test, so to speak. So we have the arena,
Oh my
and then we have
gosh.
the jousting arena from. So I will basically take the little snippets of the city that Jave had on his table and place them in where they actually are in the city, so to speak. So I've taken the buildings and the trees and stuff from the city and placed them from Jake's game table and placed them in the.
Well, and so meta level, I want to talk to you about how this fits inside the Flynn-S versus inside of Aird, which we've talked about. But I really want you to dive into just what you've done here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
I've modeled the terrain, so to speak. So we have the city, and this is about 50 square miles roughly. So I've modeled the city in 3 dimensions, so to speak. So we have.
Of course you have.
We have the main
It's
river
So
down
cool.
here. Yeah, we have the main river down here, and flowing from the north, flowing
Which is the
south.
Unkwood
And we
in.
have that little side
Aird,
river that goes
right?
past Altimira, and then we have the lake next to Altimira. And if you look closely, you can actually see the roads cutting through the hills and stuff here. So I haven't added all the buildings on only a few of the buildings are added on
we
this one, and
placed-
there's trees and stuff too. And this is not really high resolution. This is just a pre-red.
No, you just this is just no. This is,
but
yeah.
it's
Oh,
This is just a-
it's just
This is your Minecraft. This is your Minecraft view, right? Giant. So, but
this is very
if
much
this
a work
is
in
a
progress.
test,
yeah.
Oh yeah, this is very much a work in
I
progress.
I would like to point out that I love how Anna just goes like, yeah, this is just basically crayons and construction.
Exactly. Like,
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's
like-
what it is. Yeah.
she said, "This is my Minecraft view."
amazed.
It will be rendered in much better beauty, and the resolution of the area map like this is what I call the porta potty scale. So it's 1 pixel per 5 feet. So that means that this area is, what is it, like 50 million pixels or 60 or
Right.
something like that, million pixels to cover the area. But
Anna,
1
please.
pixel per 5 feet is reasonable for overland travel, because you can see in every individual. I call it a porta potty because a porta potty is roughly 5 by 5
Right.
feet.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's I can't use that officially though, because porta potty is probably a trademark owned by so
Anna,
yeah, but
scroll down and show them the gates and all. I mean, that stuff's
Yeah.
in. And the
Oh,
aqueduct.
the
There's an aqueduct.
Yeah, there-
in,
there
and
is
There's
everything.
an
yeah,
aqueduct.
Aqueducts and with that, like,
We have-
please, like, I want you and Jay to take the next few minutes,
Yeah.
talk about the gates, the aqueducts, the leveling. Jay, we've got the flow of the city, the low quarter being sunken down,
So
the routes of egress.
southern
Yes,
gate,
all of it. Yep.
Here, yeah, the
Pull
southern
up a little
gate.
bit more, Anna, because on
No,
the screen, that's
it
what
doesn't.
goes? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it goes more, but it just
That's
gets
good. That's
blurry
good.
and stuff.
No, that's
yeah.
good right there.
So we
Yeah,
have the
that-
southern gate where the road comes in, so you can actually see because they want to hold carts and cargo and stuff up the city. That's why they built the road like this, so you get a nice gentle slope about a mile up that you can easily get up with a cart and horse and stuff, and you get through the city. So that's the southern gate in. And then there's a northern gate too, and if you come from the northern route here, you can go up that way, and then you meander up. And then there's a set of gates, like a little gate in the wall here. Yeah, sub-gate in the wall. And then you continue the road next to the lake here, and then you meander around there and up. So you only get like a gentle slope up into the city. But the guards people that are going to guard here at the gate, they can actually sneak out a little gate here, and there's like a little trail that goes around here
Into the
and
walls.
yeah, and over here and then back again. So they
Notice
can,
the
they can
walls
sneak
aren't
it.
circular anymore, complete circle.
No, exactly, and the wall is more like but we have to show the TA map, the TO map, and all the story about it, so to speak. I think there's even a Wikipedia article that explains all that, so that's really cool.
Then you have a gate to the northwest that runs out.
Yes, exactly.
And-
yeah,
and
because
that
we have
one-
here, here's the aqueduct. So the aqueduct takes its water from the stream that comes up from the
It
mountain
runs all the way
here,
up into the mountain.
and it takes the water from here and guides it into the city, and it fills these two ponds here, and in the parkland. And then there is the gate here, because you don't want to have the road going next to the nasty, ugly forest down here. So what they've
Yeah,
done
that's
is
the
that
Twilight Forest /
Or the sus, yeah.
Side.
so
Right.
instead, they created the road that goes along the lake shore up here in a secluded valley, away from all the nastiness on the other side,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just so we can see what it looks like in a little bit more detail. So let
Because we need more detail.
Please. Yeah.
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 So when you see it from here, you see here's the aqueduct, and here's the western gate, so to speak, or so, and it leads here, and then the road continues along the
So to the east of the aqueduct is where we're going to move the slum area, lesser quarter area, because it's in a gully.
down here.
And
Yeah.
we're going to put that. We're going to move it from the right side to the left because it just makes sense on the contour of the land. So we're going to put that over on that side.
Which is ironically exactly where I have it in my game. The low quarter is on the left south side of the.
It just so happens it ironically works
it's down in the down in this gully here. So
Exactly.
So that's what that-
But Jay, talk about the elevation, Jay, and the water.
This is beautiful.
Because you had a really cool concept, Jay, about how the water and the elevation creates this sort of sunken area for the low quarter.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and that's where you're going to have the
That's
Bobette, the
the-
Tickling Feather, and the Salty Dog, and
Yep. That's the
all those
lowest part of
locations.
the city, literally as well as figuratively. So
Yeah.
Now we do have the maps we're going through are on my table with these areas that have been in it when we played. So Salty Dog and the Bobette are actually on the table in one of those scrolling pictures, and a lot of the other areas, all those pictures that we're scrolling through of all the buildings, that's all areas of Altimira already that were done on my table. So I'm just going to take those pieces as I label them up and put them under the table.
Yeah. So these here. So you're seeing. When you're looking at now,
that's the Tower of Alana.
yeah, these are the shots of Altimira.
That's the Bobette. The blue building there's the Bobette. Next to it is the Salty Dog next to it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I
So
think the
all these
club foot's on
buildings
the other
will-
side.
Yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
match the size and the colors of the ceiling, roof, and all that. So,
she's gonna match the buildings to the actual on the.
Yep.
I'm
Rachel's
fangirling
just like,
so
"I've
hard
been
right now.
there."
I'm
Rachel's
fangirling
just like,
so hard.
That's the cool thing that you guys have already played in it. It's fantastic.
It's so awesome. Just the amount of love that you all have poured into it is so evident.
All right, back to you, Anna. You got control of the maps. Yeah, I mean, isn't it?
So here is from the top down. You can see that little wall that is put up between this hill and this one here, and you can see the little trail that the guards can go up and down to that one easier, so to speak. So, and here the water is a little bit more textured and stuff. So this is one step closer to one step more done, so to speak.
All the
But there's
walls
way
and
more to come.
and the towers on the walls and the gatehouses, Gamescape 3D is making for us in 3D prints.
Yeah, so I
Love
haven't
that.
detailed them
Kickstarter
yet. So
bonus.
I'll use
Yeah.
those models as
Yeah.
models for what the details to put in here, so to speak.
What's the
Then
map
we'll
software
do-
you're using, Anna? World Machine?
Oh yeah, the terrain is done in World Machine, but I will and a little bit in Gaia. I will probably use World Creator to the new version for if we do a really large area, because I'm getting into, me and Lee are working on be able to do really big terrain. So it's starting to look really cool. We can use graphic GPUs to render and stuff. So I can do 64K renders. That's 64,000 pixels on each side per time. We can probably bump that up to 128K using World Creator fairly soon, and that means that we can double it. So I can probably render almost 1,000 miles. So 1,000 by 1,000, so 10,000 square miles in one render. At porta potty scale. That's the goal. So
the chat has suggested we just call it the portable toilet or the outhouse scale. You don't, but
scale.
outhouse scale. Yeah.
But it is really good. I run my outdoors adventuring on that scale. It works in Owlbear Rodeo and VTTs. I just copy it straight from, and when I use my Shieldland campaign. So
Love it.
It works really well. You can take that map and run combat on it. One square, you just zoom out a little bit, and it works really well. You
It's
take
the
any
true
area and just-
detailed
The
hex crawl. Now Thomas is leaving, so Thomas, if you've not left yet, I want to go back to Rachel's fangirling a moment ago, and just say, Thomas, Rachel, Cameron was in earlier. How freaking cool is it that what we're playing on Sundays is adding to the canon of what's going to hit this box set? It is so freaking fun.
I think it's awesome. I love that you're playing in it, and I want to share that, so you were like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's from us. Songs too. We got to work all that out, like the songs Thomas does.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
gonna
my
make that a
gosh.
Kickstarter
Yes.
goal.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're Rachel, I think we're working on getting accompaniment done with we're gonna it's gonna be a production piece. It'll probably be, I think Jay and Anna thought it would make sense as a the next level release on the Kickstarter. So you hit that release and get the up. Yeah, I think that would be a fun thing for us to do.
Yeah, the city is about 1.5 miles across.
Yeah,
so a mile, but
guess.
between 1 and 2 miles, depending on where you count it. So this plateau just here, so to speak, where
10,000 is going to be the rough.
Yeah. So this
Amount of
plateau
people.
here is about 1 mile across, a little bit over 1 mile across. And then
I think the Grayton Academy and the Edgerton School of Distinction will probably make it also in the box set.
Anything that I'm looking for that you have that makes sense in the game is going to go in there. Now, remember, we have the sages, Sojourners Repose.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Already. Yes. We don't need
there's
those.
lots of square miles to put interesting locations.
Exactly.
So I'm going to bug Jay for the next year to just say, oh, we have some forest here that needs some. We need to have something over there, and so on and so forth.
Troy's trying to embarrass me.
Uh-oh.
No, I think he doesn't really. So, why the kumquat trees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Come on. We've all seen Fletch, and we've all seen Caddyshack, Mitch Cumstein and stuff. We all thought it was cool to say the word kumquats. Okay, let's be honest. And that's why we use that as the fruit. And we had this guy who worked with us in the summers when we worked at RCA back in the day, and his name was Hoops. And so Hoops' grandfather, he was the old man who sold the kumquats on the trail. So it's Hoops' fruit market. Hoops is still alive, and he's selling. Yeah, so.
Jay, I want to know why you didn't have the courage to put 2 kumquats on the end of that stem. Why did you lack the courage to do that?
Well, fortunately, the artwork in Memorial Gold only had one, right?
Yeah.
I would do it, John.
I know you would. I know you would.
I have the same emote on my channel now. This one, that blue ball emote. I have that on my channel.
Yes, you do. Yes.
So it's okay. I'm not bashful. I'll push it, even though Josh Pop says I do. I push it too much sometimes, but it's all in fun. We all want to enjoy ourselves.
Of course,
and have a fun time.
That's the whole point of it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. As far as Anna's expansion on the map area, I told Steven, stay away from Fontenot. I will completely develop Fontenot after this is successful and take all of my houses of Selene, which are all named by me, and there are no canon names of all the houses of Selene in mine. I could throw them right into Fontenot,
Right.
and do that and develop all the elves and realms for them afterwards. So that's another thing too that we're excited about. Expansions beyond this. So it's up to me to get all the writing finished.
Yeah.
Anna's doing her part.
Well,
Anna,
working on
Clearly.
it,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yep.
Anna, is there
So-
anything else you can show us on the maps? Any other maps you can?
No, that's the what I have so far. When it comes, I have a lot of like just basic renderings, but they don't. This is the fanciest when it comes to looks, so to speak.
It looks
I have a
amazing.
100 gigabyte Photoshop file with all the layers and stuff in it, but it's mostly masks and all that technical stuff in order to do it, so to speak.
Right.
So it's textures from swamps and forests and all that stuff. So Sus or the Onkwood or the Twilight Woods have its own texture, so it's darker and stuff like that. So I need to figure out
So-
what that looks like too.
Main plot arc with Altimira is
Yes.
in the Twilight Wood. And I don't know if John can utilize this if he wants to. If he wants to go a different direction, it's great. There is a lot of the individuals in the low quarter have mysteriously been disappearing. Now, a lot of them thought it was the Boogeyman or Altimira or Old Tom Sorrow, but a lot of them have just left the city and gone into the Twilight Forest / the Sus and Greyhawk. And there's a cult called the Sun out there, and that is they all seem to be disappearing and going off. And there's disappearance of these beastmen creatures, goatmen, that seem to be magically resistant too to spells, and you need magical weapons to hit them. Some of them have tufts of like armor, or it looks like they had clothing on before, and that's the main arc. Who is the Sun? You know, that's what's
I have something very, very similar, Jay. Just slight mods, but I mean, very similar. And with these Trollocs, Wheel of Time, it feels exactly similar to that concept. These goat men, these Trollocs. Anna, you familiar? Yeah.
No,
Or
I just
Trolloc?
like I like the when you said it, it was like, ooh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
note this, the adventure card deals with that. So, John, I can make that was a free giveaway at GaryCon. I can give that, put that in your Discord after my show tonight, and if you want to give it to any of the community who wants that adventure card in CNC, I'd be more than happy to share it.
Yeah, I was gonna do a giveaway tonight just because I wanted to I think you and Anna were enough, but yes, let's do that giveaway, Jay. I'll kick that off in the Nightbot in a moment. Explain again to everyone what they're gonna get.
Well, it is. Let me see if I can locate it here. It's probably under Altimira. It is the adventure card that I gave out at GaryCon. It's a very basic two-page adventure. It just is, and there's room for it to be expanded on. And it has an encounter with these beastmen. And now I got to figure out where I put it. Let me see if I got it in my GaryCon subfolder for 2022. Because I got stuff everywhere, John. You know us. We're all
Yes.
very disorganized for 2023.
no lie.
Adventure card.
All right, so
I gotta locate it.
No worries.
Well, it
Take your
looks like-
time. You don't have to find it
show
now,
a little
Jay.
bit what the
have
what
to-
the map could look like in detail, so to speak. I can-
Please do.
And what I'm using here is my test case for city
Okay,
mapping.
hang on. Let me switch back over, and I'll do that. So hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat, and Jay will then give you that. You don't have to find it now, Jay, but whenever you can, that's fine. And
I got it. Adventure card, Gary.
all right, oh my, Anna, I asked you if you had any other maps to show. You were hiding this from me.
For my campaign, I developed.
Oh,
Crit
yes,
Wall. This is
Crit
my
Wall.
test case for what a city map should look like, so to speak. So when
It's
Altimira would
beautiful.
look better than this once it's done, so to speak. This is my campaign
crazy?
map I did
You
for
are a
Crit Wall.
genius.
A genius.
So this is Crit Wall, and there is
It's in your Discord, John.
yeah,
Thanks.
and you can't,
Gosh.
and you have to realize a map should be more than a pretty picture, so to speak. So this is Crit
great
Wall is
pre-test
not
for it,
all. Yeah, that is not just a top down. It's a 3D image. You can look at it from any angle, so to speak. And not only that, you can also see what the city would look like if you come from the river north. You can.
Oh my gosh, Anna!
This is what this.
I'm one of your Patreons. I've not even seen this yet, and I should.
You come up the river, you can see this is what the city looks like. So
Isn't it?
that's what this is test images I've done quickly for my campaign. Altimira would look better than this.
Do you, like quickly, like
Boba,
just
yeah, Boba got it right. Boba got it right. Oh, just casually painting Van Gogh.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just knocked this off real quick. Just an easy thing I did. Yeah.
So
Why don't you tell us you just doodled on a bar napkin next time?
Here's Critwall from the west. Here's Critwall, a scene from the west, from Furuundi side, and then I have here is another one from the Furuundi side. Here's from the south. If you come up Veng from the south, this is what Critwall looks like. So you can see the main keep, you can see the temple, you can see the port over here, and that's the wall from the south. And I think I have one more. That's another one from the south.
This is 10,000 as well. So that was the idea. Critwall and Altimira same, fairly same in amount of.
Yeah, so I used Critwall as a test to develop the technology, so to speak. So
Yeah.
Hashtag Anna replaces Google Maps.
yes.
Google Maps.
So this
Yeah.
is and this one is also in GIS. So it will be available in browser form with labels and the whole shebang.
Yeah. So when Sergey calls,
all my Greyhawk maps into GIS. So Google Earth is coming, yes, but it will take some years to do it. But I'm working on it. Yes.
Wow.
So with more help from the patrons, it will go faster.
if you're not a patron of Anna, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I am a patron. I'm a patron.
Anna, link your Patreon.
Yeah. Link it in there. Hit it in there. All you like we're all just talking heads. Anna actually is creating stuff. So just man, Anna, incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
all right.
we're hoping, Hatchstorm, we're hoping this leads into Gaxmore's not far away. The Luke Gygax did maybe some collaboration with him.
Mm-hmm.
We're just hoping this leads to all sorts of open doors. Controller Games and Steven Schultz. It's a great company. In fact, before I go, John, Steven Chenault and probably Luke will be on Sunday night on Gavin to talk about Yigsburg and other Kickstarters. And then tonight we're doing the best of Greyhawk is our discussion, which I imagine you'll be right into shortly. But I need to reboot my machine and prep for that.
We'll let you go, Jay. But just thanks. So this is the card.
All right, there it is. Yep.
So a call for immediate assistance by Jay. Gary Con special. This is the giveaway tonight. We'll get this to you. No, it's just not basic. It's awesome. We'll get you this battle card.
A map on there and everything.
Yeah. We'll get you that PDF out. Jay, before you go, your favorite moment DMing in Altimira. Like, if you had to pick, like, one thing you remember with your team that just stands out to you in the city.
So, the first joust ever was awesome that we did. Because Tim was on his game that night being the announcer, talking about...
Duncan Joustley.
Yeah, Duncan Joustley, the Cromulent, right? I mean, it was a great night, and... No one knew that I had Mike Disney's surprise guest as Sir Vargren, the Unmerciful, show up, and he showed up, and like everyone was like going, well, John, you're actually happy that I did what I did now, and
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and we had there was a big, bragging rights fight after that. I like that. Also, our fundraiser, I think, with the Falcon series, which would be Anna, year 2, we did the Falcon.
That was the first year when I joined the.
Yeah, that was the first year was A Miracle of the Chaotic. The second year was the Falcon. That was a big fight right in Altimira. The Falcon tried taking over Greyhawk and Altimira during our funding.
That was the first couple of games I was playing on your channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Phoenix, that was a fun time too. Plus, I've invaded Altimira with Murlocs. They're my favorite, and they're gonna be called.
It's been overrun with so many weird.
Mutated Fishmen. They're gonna be in the box set, by the way. Murlocs from WoW are gonna be renamed and thrown because they're one of my favorite monsters of all time. Yes. So she called-
All right, so we're gonna let Jay and Anna go. They got to jump onto their stream.
Yes.
We'll be rating in moments.
She wants.
Yes.
So,
Okay, I'll spend a couple of minutes.
Yeah. John, I got to roll here.
All right, see you, Jay. Let me see if I can make this work.
Pleasure, thank
Yes.
you.
Jay, if you could, you drop. Let's see if I can go chat 4.
I'm on John's Discord. You guys want to send me messages with questions, and John is going to
Absolutely.
compile everything. I don't want to get bombarded with them, but if you guys have ideas for the campaign and John runs them in his, if John runs them, odds are they're going to get into the box set within the next 2-3 months. Right?
So-
if he runs it within that time frame.
Send them, and we're gonna push all that in. I'm gonna help this be compartmentalized so Jay doesn't get overwhelmed. I will help with that. But thanks, Jay. Have a great stream. We'll be rating in a moment. Anna will keep
right.
with you for a moment.
See you shortly.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can do this. Jay, you drop.
That's it.
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. Boom! Look at that. I'm so good at this.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Bang, bang, bang. No issue here. I just got to get Anna back in the pole position instead of Kurt. All right. So, Anna.
I wasn't starstruck now, like then, like I am absolutely now. It's
Well, thank you, but this is my forte to do maps like this, and I've been eager to get into city mapping in this kind of more closed area. I've worked on the big picture, like continents, for 20 years, and I wanted to really get into cities and local areas. And when Altimira, when we started talking about it a few years ago, I was like, now is the time. I'm starting to feel like I have the knowledge and so on. I just needed to develop it for my own campaign as a test bench, because when
Yeah.
you do commission work and for other projects, you can't invent how to do it. You have to do all the mistakes for your own stuff. So I realized, okay, I'm going to do shield lands and I'm going to start developing. So I have a couple of thousand, but probably about 2,000-3,000 square miles of shield lands campaign at that detail level for my campaigns so far. And Critwall is the big city, so to speak, that in that area that I've developed in order to figure out how to do it. And I didn't just want to have a top-down picture. I wanted to see what the city, meaning in its surroundings, what do the surrounding landscape look like, and the city in 3D. I want to show the players, this is what you see, this is what the city looks like, and I wanted the story of the city. And so I kind of bounced in, and so if you go to my Patreon site or my website, there is an article detailing or the brief summary of 4,000 years of Critwall history and stuff, just to get a feel. So this is what I'm pestering Jay with, all the stuff, so he can get all that stuff for Altimira, so to speak. So that's my part, is to visualize it and ask dumb questions to Jay. Those are my 2 roles in the project. So yeah.
You know, I don't want to click login and probably show my password here, but here's your Patreon account.
Oh, it's open for everybody. So that article, everybody can watch it. Yeah, the latest article.
So you go here, you can join. Here's all the Critwall stuff.
Just go down there. Yeah, there you have
It's
the
just-
thingy. So yeah.
yeah.
I call it Meyerhawk
Here.
because I add a lot of stuff on
Let
it.
me-
Normally I use the Meyerhawk logo when it's a lot of added stuff, and then there's a no label version that is just generic Greyhawk. You can just use it, or in any campaign if you want to. So yeah. So that was the idea of developing it, and I realized I needed to do. I've done a few city maps even for commission, but nothing really substantial, so to speak, where I felt like a city needs to be presented both in its surroundings in 3D, and it also needs to have its history. And there's a labeled version in there too, where I started to put place names. The quarters have names. A lot of the city streets have names and stuff too. So
Whoa, thank you, Cannibal. Wow.
yeah, thank you. Oh
Holy
my
smokes,
gosh.
10 gift subs. So, Anna, I have 2 things I want to ask of you, as these are all for one. I'm going to ask you to ask the question. I don't think I've ever had you ask the question, which is, if you're not a follower, or if you're not a sub, why, or if your sub is expired, what are you doing? Right. But before you get to that, you are such an inspiration to women in gaming. I have had so many women in gaming come to me and say, like, Anna just blows us away with what she does. And honestly, I just think, you know, I'm oblivious. I'm like, oh, amazing person, talented. But how you encourage other women in the game. So if you were to give a word of encouragement to any young lady or, you know, anyone else who's a female gamer, what could they glean from your success if they want to really embrace this game and succeed? obstacles you faced, or even advantages that you have? Anything you can share as a word of advice to female gamers?
I think you should just go with your passion, so to speak. Meaning, first of all, get good at find your niche, and get really good at it, so to speak, and then learn to take criticism in a, I would say, constructive way, so to speak, because not everybody will agree with what you do, so to speak. But first, find out what you love to do, and then start doing it and hone your skills, get better, listen to criticism, but also know when to ignore it. That's the second part. So listen to criticism, take it in, and then throw most of it out, so to speak. And that, because there's so many ideas and different ways of doing things. And secondly, I think also important, if you want to be not only have fun creating for your own campaign, but if you want to create others, find a community to serve, so to speak. That, I think, is the key bit. There's so many different communities in the tabletop RPG space, meaning there are literally hundreds, thousands of different communities, different settings, different rule sets, and so on and so forth. Find the community you like and which content you like, the people you like to hang out with, and figure out what they like. And they probably like pretty much what you do if you find the right community. And then you start making stuff for them. And then you learn, and they will tell you what you need to do better and what you're doing great and so on. And just keep doing it. And also realize it takes time. It's a marathon. Meaning, I've done this as a hobby for almost 30 years. I've done it professionally for 10 years. Now I start to understand what I'm doing. It takes time. You don't get really good at this immediately, so to speak. It takes time, but it's also a lot of fun. And another kind of harsh advice, meaning I'm soon 60, and I've had my other careers and stuff. This is unfortunate. It's a wonderful thing to do, and it's a wonderful job. It can be a good second career, but it's probably not for most people the first career. It's not the one that will give you a house and support a family and all that stuff.
Right.
There are very few people in the RP industry that can do that. So go out and get another education. And also, it's also something that is good for your creativity in the RPG world. Meaning, I worked with politics, I worked with military stuff, I worked with a whole bunch of the real world. I understand how the real world works. And then I try to figure out, okay, if the real world works this way, how does a world with dragons and gods and cleric who can wield magic and necromancy, how would that work? How would the economy work? How would politics work? How would ideology works? How would a city work and stuff in that? So pick your real passions and then something you're really good at. It might be all sorts of things. You might be really interested in fashion, or you might be, what kind of jewelry and clothes and food and stuff do they eat and do in a fantasy world or use, or something like that. What does architecture look like? There is so many niches that you can specialize in. What about fantasy architecture, elven architecture? You can specialize in designing elven buildings or elven history or languages, meaning there's an endless possibility of cool stuff you can specialize in. And if you find your passion and you get good at it, people will love what you do. And so find your passion. For me, it's maps and politics and a few other kind of adjacent topics, and that's what I try to do. Visualize what fantasy world will look like and make them real, so to speak. That's what I want to do.
Wonderfully said.
Anna,
Yeah, thank you.
Just drop the mic. I mean, seriously, what a fantastic response, and thank you for that. Honestly, a great segue to the question. But before that, Rachel, any follow-ups you had? You are one of the fangirls. You're not the only one. Any other questions you have for Anna on that topic, or anything else you'd like to say?
As I said previously, I'm kind of starstruck in this moment. That advice was beautiful to hear and also quite validating.
Yeah, so find your passion and go for it, and then listen to criticism, learn from it, and get better, so to speak, and improve your game. And yeah, you will find your niche, and you will be great at it. You might be and a lot of these niches, there are only 10 other people in the world doing it. So there is a good chance you will be the best in the world or among the best, meaning the fantasy mapping I do, there might be 100 people that do what I do. And I'm not the best of them. I will never be, but I might be in the best top 10. And that's good enough. I'm good enough that I know what I'm doing is fun for me. Other people have fun doing it, using it, and that's what counts. And I can pay the bills with it, and it's great, so to speak. So you can get there. Almost anyone can get there. You just need passion, stubbornness, and dedication.
Passion and stubbornness and dedication. Wow, that's great advice for anything. So I'm going to come back to you, Anna, to close. But Kurt, any other thoughts or questions you had? Because I know you're not fangirling, but.
No, I'm just really good at holding it in. That's all. Really good at holding it in.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. Just I enjoy this stuff that she does, and I'm not gonna lie. I watch Jay's channel more often than not for the stuff that she says than what Jay says.
Oh, shh! Don't tell Jay that. No.
No, I'm just joking. I love you too, Jay. But no, I honestly don't have any questions. It's just cool to just sit here and just soak in the wisdom. That's all. Just
Yes.
Just I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm just gonna shut up and listen. Like, okay.
Well, I want to say again, Kurt and Rachel, I think you are the best co-hosts anywhere on Twitch. I love having you guys. You're so much fun. Your questions are insightful. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. But Anna, you talked earlier in your soliloquy about how to grow. You said connect with a community that you believe in, that you like. So that's a great segue to the question. Anna, bring us home.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. So if you're not subscribed or you're not follower or your subscription have lapsed or is no longer valid. Yeah. And then I did.
I love it.
500 times and I still.
I love it.
That works.
Do the thing, everyone. Just do the thing. And we're going to raid into Jay now here. 10 seconds left. Anna, Jay, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you, Mad Chatters. You guys were awesome. Thank you for all the gift subs. I guess it's September. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess it's September. That was mentioned by Cannibal. Bye-bye. And we are, I'll do this. Do 3. Yes, I can still do it. I'm that good. All right. And rating now in 3, 2, bye, Rachel. Bye, Kurt. Bye, all you Mad Chatters. Bye. And 1. Boom.
I can't stop smiling.
She's so freaking awesome.